Hello everyone, I am McAllik and welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be doing an unboxing video. I know I'm a bit late compared to some of the other channels out there, but this just arrived 2 days ago for me. And as you can see, I am moving again. So for those of you who have seen my face before, hello, it's been a while, hope you're doing well. And for those of you who haven't seen me before, here I am. My hair is very long and I am very white. And without further ado, let's see what is inside this box from Wizards of the Coast with the new SpellJammer setting. Alright, this is my first time doing any kind of unboxing video, so forgive me if it's not perfect. So I'm just going to be winging it. So today we have the new SpellJammer kit that Wizards of the Coast just re-released for 5e. I do plan on covering the changes they're doing with D&D 1 and then the return of the DragonLance setting, but that's going to be something for a different day. I've been off the grid for quite a bit. Things have been really busy here. I'm starting to move again, work, all that jazz. But anyways, here we go. We're going to start opening this bad boy up. All right. This box is now made with less material. Okay. Put this down real quick. Oh, this is heavy. This is actually pretty hefty. Oh my goodness. I mean, I've never actually bought a set before. I have some old, like, original D&D boxes that were given to me a long time ago, but you know, they're super old and falling apart. But I mean, look at this thing. Actually, no, let me get all of this gunk off of it. Put this away. Use that box for later. All right. Now let me go ahead and try to gently get this off so we can see it better. Do not scratch the books. There we go. There we go. Must try not to shake the table lest this camera fall. Awesome. This is tight. Okay. Get it off. Toss that to the ground. Put away the trusty knife. Right. And oh, this is a slip sheet. Okay, so let's look at this first. Set sail for the stars. Of course, the pictures, everything included. Home of the stars and gateway to the heavens, the astral plane teems with excitement and possibility. With the help of magic known to spelljamming, you can cross the oceans of wild space, ply the silvery void known as the Astral Sea, and hop between worlds of Dungeons & Dragons multiverse. SpellJammer Adventures in Space contains everything a Dungeon Master needs to run adventures and campaigns set in the starlit realms of Wild Space and the Astral Sea, as well as new options for players who want to create characters at home in this fantastic setting. Now, let's look at this big hefty thing. Look at the camera. This is really nice. As my first, I guess, officially bought kit from Wizards of the Coast. I mean, for those of you who know me as it is, the few of you who do watch this, I do appreciate y'all being here. I am a sucker for official canon and official lore and everything. I mean, homebrewing's fun, but I don't know, I appreciate the original stuff. Ooh, bump that. Just look at that. The thrilling space-based adventure. And of course we got Boo and Minsk down there. Oh, it looks like I may have gotten bumped in transit. Dang, that sucks. Because now I have 2 collector's edition boxes for WoW, and even those I try very hard to take care of. But still, this thing is sturdy. Alright, enough gawking. Let's finally open this up. Set you over there. All right, so let's take a look at this first. I guess this is the DM shield. Ooh. All right, this is the DM shield. I'm digging it. I'm loving it. Wait a minute. Aha, there's more. This thing is big. Okay, now let's actually look at the inside. I've never actually seen a DM shield before. This thing is expansive. Okay, so let's try to fold this. Okay. All right. We second EC difficulty. Okay, skills and associated abilities, acrobatics, dexterity. Okay, it's all there. Suffocating. You can hold your breath for a number of minutes equal to 1 plus your con modifier, minimum of 30 seconds. If you're out of breath or you're choking, you can survive a number of rounds each. Cause modifier, and then 1 round. At the start of your next turn, you drop to 0 hit points and are dying, and you can regain hit points or be stabilized until you can breathe again. Weightlessness. In any location where gravity is not present, the following rules apply. Impeded melee. When making a melee attack with a weapon, a creature that doesn't have a flying or swimming speed, either naturally or provided by magic, has disadvantage on the attack roll unless the weapon deals piercing damage. Movement. A creature can use an action to push off something heavier than itself and move up to its walking, flying, or swimming speed in a straight line. The creature continues along this course, moving in a straight line at its speed on each of its turns until something stops it or changes its trajectory. Okay, let's look at this. The Astral Plane. Let's get that a little closer for y'all. We have the Wild Space System, Astral Dominion. There is a dead god. Of course, there are a number of random dead gods just floating out in space. Wild Space System. Let's see, we have Doom Space. That's Wild Space System. Astral Dominion, Wild Space System, Another Dead God, Wild Space System, Astral Dominion, Realm Space, Wild Space System. So yeah, I guess for those of you who don't already know about space in general, you can think of, in the way that we handle space, you can think of the astral sea as a whole, pretty much like the whole universe. And each of these systems is, of course, an actual bubble, but you can consider them as actual solar systems, like how we have with all of our planets in the nearby vicinity. That's a rough approximation. I would definitely urge you to do some detailed research into it, but it is interesting to learn about. Let's see. Okay. And this, sorry for that little interruption. This is our DM shield. I like it. This is really nice. I was expecting it to be like a little taller, but I guess this is pretty good as it is. Ooh, this is nice. They actually put effort into the printing. And with my background in the printing industry, like I can tell how things are made, and this was made very well. So, Astral Adventurer's Guide. Set sail for the stars. Welcome to the Astral Plane, the starlit realm that surrounds the worlds of Dungeons and Dragons, multiverse, hop aboard, spelljamming ship, and set a course for adventure. And that is a murder comet. The Astral Adventurer's Guide is intended for players and can explore spelljamming setting. This book contains the following background: race for other characters, spells, magic items, rules for running campaigns, ship descriptions, deck plans, the Rock of Brawl, an Astral City that serves both an adventure location and campaign hub. For those other books and setting. Alright. I dig it. And we got a massive nautiloid. All of the pictures I've seen of nautiloids throughout the years, it's really hard to tell the scale of some of these ships. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 recently with Larian, I mean, they're doing a pretty good job showing that scaling. But I know old lore, there are specific dreadnought ships for the Lithids, and those things, I don't remember if they're canon or not, but I remember comparatively they were pretty massive. I think about 20 times larger than an actual nautiloid. And, ooh, A cottage on a Kendori. That I don't think I came across in the old lore. But hey, that is a space whale, pretty much, right? And I'm pretty happy about that. I have a little group with my friends that I nicknamed Space Whales, and that's been there for a number of years, so this just makes me so happy. We have contents, we have terminology, using the books, character, options, background, shift, raw space, astral adventuring, gravity planes, magic, rocket brawl. Okay. It's definitely going to take time to go through this entire book, so let's just pick apart a few specific things and then see the other books. Ooh, that's nice. God, they did really good with the artwork. Space Young Adventure leaves their Dam's fly ship behind and explore a new world in pursuit of their latest quest. And yes, there are plenty of astral elves, but there are also, of course, these special people. And plasmoid astral Detroit. I don't think plasmoids were in the old one, at least not that I immediately recognize. And now we have the actual details of said races. And I'm just going to probably touch on a few things here and there. So we have our astral elves. Long ago, groups of elves ventured from the Feywilds to the astral plane to become closer to their gods. Life in the Silver Void has imbued their souls with a spark of divine light. That light manifests as a starry gleam in an astral elf's eyes. Because nothing ages on the astral plane, astral elves who inhabit that plane can be very old, and their longevity gives them an unusual perspective on the passage of time. Some are prone to melancholy, while others might display an absence of feeling. Many look for creative ways to occupy themselves, whether they choose to live in quiet contemplation or strike out to explore the reaches of the multiverse. Astral elves tend to see things through the lens of time as having little or no meaning to them. Astral elves who don't dwell on the astral plane can live to be more than 750 years old. Autognomes are mechanical beings built by rock gnomes. Sometimes because of a malfunction or a unique circumstance, an autognome becomes separated from its creator and strikes out on its own. An autognome bears a resemblance to its creator, and most autognomes are programmed to speak and understand Gnomish. The internal components used in an autognome's manufacture can vary wildly. One autognome might have an actual beating heart in its chest cavity, while another might be powered by stardust or intricate clockwork gears. Roll in the autognome history table, or choose an entry that you like to identify what event set you on the path to adventure. If nothing on the table appeals to you, work with your DM to create an origin story. Like gnomes, autognomes can live for centuries, typically up to 500 years. Okay, and looks like some of the history we have: special mission, felt trapped, so you abandoned your creator, glitch, etc. Okay, these are pretty nice. Let's just breeze through this real quick. Success, one attack roll, ability check, healing machine. If the mending spell is cast on you, you can spend hit die, roll it, or regain number of points. Mechanical nature, if you just position it. These are nice. These are pretty, I would say, very specific. If you have a very specific purpose, the autognome might be the choice for you. Now we have the actual GIF. GIF are tall, broad-shouldered folk with hippo-like features. Some have smooth skin, while others have short bristles on their faces and the tops of their heads. As beings of impressive size and unforgettable appearances, GIF are noticed wherever they go. Most GIF believe they originate on one world, but their home world is now the stuff of legend, because no living GIF has seen it or knows where it is. The divine beings who created GIF have likewise been forgotten. Their titanic, petrified bodies drift on the astral sea, isolated and unrecognizable in their current forms. Although they don't realize it, GIF are drawn to the astral plane because on deep psychic level, they remain connected to their creator god, who have just enough divine spark left in them to imbue GIF with sparks of their own, which GIF have learned to channel through their weapons. Most GIF have no idea where the so-called astral spark comes from, but they feel its presence most strongly when they are in wild space or the astral sea. GIF are split into two camps concerning how their name is pronounced. Okay. Half of them say it with a hard G, and half with a soft G. So GIF or GIF. Oh my god, they did not. GIF and GIF. How dare they? I love it. Next we have Hadose. The first Hadozes were timid mammals no bigger than house cats. Hunted by larger natural predators, the Hadose took to the trees and evolved wing-like flaps that enabled them to glide from branch to branch. Several hundred years ago, a wizard visited Ysir, the Hadose homeworld, with a small fleet of spelljamming ships. Under the wizard's direction, apprentices laid magic traps and captured dozens of Hadose. The wizard fed the captives an experimental elixir that enlarged them and turned them into sapient bipedal beings. The elixir had the side effects of intensifying the Hadose's panic response, making them more resilient when harmed. The wizard's plan was to create an army of enhanced Hadose warriors for sale to the highest bidder. But instead, the wizard's apprentices grew fond of the Hadose and helped them escape. The apprentices and the Hadoses were forced to kill the wizard, after which they fled, taking with them all remaining vials of the wizard's experimental elixir. With the help of their liberators, the Hadoses returned to their homeworld and used the elixir to create more of their kind. In time, all Hadose newborns came to possess the traits of the enhanced Hadoses. Then, centuries ago, Hadoses took to the stars, leaving Ysir's fearsome predators behind. Plasmoids. Oh! We have a space hamster! And for those of you who don't know, there are many, many different types of space hamsters out in the world, and not all of them are miniature. Plasmoid. Okay, these are the last two for the races, and then we'll breeze through everything else. I'm trying not to linger on each book and read you everything verbatim. I want to hit the important stuff between them. Plasmoids are amorphous beings with no typical shape. In the presence of other folk, they often adopt a similar shape, but there's little chance of mistaking a plasmoid for anything else. They consume food by osmosis, the way an amoeba does, and excrete waste through tiny pores. They breathe by absorbing oxygen through another set of pores, and their limbs are strong and flexible enough to grasp and manipulate weapons and tools. Although most plasmoids are translucent gray, they can alter their color and translucence by absorbing dyes through their pores. Plasmoids don't have internal organs of the usual sort. Their bodies are composed of cells, fibers, plasma-like ooze, and clusters of nerves. These nerves enable a plasmoid to detect light, heat, texture, sound, pain, and vibrations. Plasmoids can stiffen the outer layers of their bodies to maintain a human-like shape, so they can wear clothing and accessories. They speak by forcing air out of tubular cavities that constrict to produce sound. When plasmoids sleep, they lose their rigidity and spread out, and are thus sometimes mistaken for a rock or some other feature of the environment. Something tells me these guys changed a bit since their old lore. 3 Kreen have insectile features and 2 pairs of arms. Their bodies are encased in protective chitin. They can alter the coloration of this carapace to blend in with their natural surroundings. Although 3 Kreen don't sleep, they do require periods of inactivity to revitalize themselves. During these periods, they are fully aware of what's happening around them. 3 Kreen speak by clacking their mandibles and waving their antennae, indicating to other 3 Kreen what they are thinking and feeling. Other creatures find this method of communication difficult to interpret and impossible to duplicate. To interact with other folk, 3 Kreen rely on a form of telepathy. You are considered a monstrosity. Okay, so I guess that's more of... I always thought monstrosity was tied to, like, big monsters, but I guess it's more so abnormalcy instead of size. See, medium or small, speed, chameleon carapace. While you aren't wearing armor, your carapace gives you a base armor class of 13 plus your dex modifier. Ooh. Initial thoughts, maybe a 3 Kreen barbarian or 3 Kreen monk might be something pretty nice. All right, the official races have been breezed through. A hammerhead ship collides with a tyrant ship in the Astral Sea. Okay, now let's just flip through and see what we can find. Ooh, This thing is supposed to be nigh unkillable and can literally eat anything. Damesfly ship. Oh, we're actually going through each individual ship. Okay. So that ship is called the Bombard. Okay. These are built by the Hippo people of the GIF. And then the Damesfly ship. Damesfly ship owners are a proud lot, fond of painting their ships in colorful patterns, as well as customizing their vessels with special equipment. Flying fish ship. I think these are one of the original standards. Hammerhead, another one of the originals. Lamprey ship. Ooh, that looks... That's very interesting. A living ship. Okay, let's see. Look at this. Druids, rangers, and clerics devoted to gods of nature are often found aboard living ships, and as are wild space explorers who don't want to have to worry about their ship's air envelope becoming fouled during a long voyage. This ship's main distinctive feature is the fully grown tree ant on the aft deck. The tree ant has a speed of 0 because its roots are woven into the deck. It and the ship are inseparable. If the ship is reduced to 0 hit points, the tree ant dies of shock. The ship can function if its tree ant dies, but the tree ant can never be replaced with another. When the tree ant finishes a long rest, it repairs the ship's hull, enabling the ship to regain 12 hit points and refreshes the ship's air envelope. Nautiloid. Oh, we already know all about these guys. Look at that. That is great. Used by the Illithids. I think these are the only spelljamming ships that also do not need a spelljamming helm. The Night Spider. This is a ship for the Nyogi. Okay. And then Starmoth. That's very interesting. Starmoths are ships constructed and flown by Astral elves who don't like it when these ships end up in the hands of others. Turtle ship. Oh, this is great. Look at that. No. I don't think these used to be a thing. Okay. Beholders carve tyrant ships out of stone using their disintegration rays and use these ships to wander the astral plane, looking for worlds to conquer and rival beholders to destroy. No two tyrant ships look alike, but they all have one or more features reminiscent of their creators, such as bulbous shape and eye stalks. And the Rock of Brawl. I assume the rest of this is all detailed for that. The adventuring hub for this new campaign. Ooh, this thing is big. The Rock of Brawl, topside. Library sphere. This is great. We got a big old hub. This is awesome. Alright, that is that. I went on way too long, but if you're still here, I hope you enjoyed that. There's definitely more in there to read. Alright, and now we are moving on to the Light of Xerxes. Sarixis. I'm going to say Sarixis. It's probably pronounced wrong, but I've done my best. This looks really good. Saviors of the Multiverse. When a cosmic enemy threatens to destroy their world, brave heroes must do everything in their power to save it. This quest will take them across the teeming oceans of wild space to the silvery void of the astral sea and beyond. Along the way, they'll make friends, encounter terrifying foes, and face one cliffhanger after another. Can they save the world before time runs out? Alright, let's open this up and see what is inside. Adventure summary. This story revolves around the characters' efforts to save their homeworld from an attack by an empire of astral elves. Okay, I was right. The attack is underway when the adventure begins. After taking refuge aboard a spelljamming vessel, the characters head for the stars to discover who is responsible for the attack and how they can save their world. During the adventure, the characters encounter many space-dwelling creatures, some of which become companions on the party's voyage. The characters also meet Princess Zidali, an astral elf who is embroiled in a power struggle with her twin brother, Prince Seleth, over who will rule the empire that currently threatens the character's world. With or without Zidali's help, the characters must assemble an unlikely alliance to strike at the heart of the Astral Elf Empire. The characters encounter many grandiose locations as the adventure unfolds, including an asteroid city known as the Rock of Brawl, and the Imperial Citadel of the Astral Elves, which orbits a star called Xerxes. Xerxes, the light of Xerxes, has nourished the Xerxian Empire for millennia, serving as a wellspring for the magical power that the Astral Elves of the Xerxes space used to sustain their empire. 1,000 years ago, the star's light began to fade, threatening the elves' prosperity. So, Emperor Zavan turned the dying star into a parasite that leeches life from worlds using crystal seeds harvested from the star. This almost sounds like something else, but I can't quite remember what I'm trying to remember. After the elves select a suitable host world, ships known as star moths release hundreds of astral seeds into the planet's atmosphere. The seeds fall from the sky and bury themselves in the ground and the ocean of the world. After the astral seeds take root, they produce enormous crystalline vines. The tendrils of these vines extend deep into the world and draw life energy from it. Once the vines have sapped a world of its energy, a process that can take months, they send out a bright beam of light that travels back to Xerxes, temporarily replenishing the star's radiance and leaving the host world a barren husk. Although Xerxes shines brilliantly after each replenishment, it isn't long before the light of Xerxes begins to wane once more, presaging the doom of another world. Once astral seeds have taken roots on a host world, there is no easy way to stop the transformation. The vines are too thick and too numerous to be uprooted. Destroying the star of Xerxes, which acts as a lodestone for the astral seeds, is the only way to free a world from their grip. If the star goes dark, the crystal vines release their stored energy back into the host world, shrivel, and die. Further adventures. This section provides a couple suggestions for how you can continue this campaign. Beyond the Eye of Doom. Is the Eye of Doom in Doomspace a gateway to a new wild space system? One or more NPCs encourage the characters to mount an expedition to discover what lies on the other side of the vortex. Back to Brawl. If the characters return to the Rock of Brawl, tales of their heroism travel quickly to the Palace of Starhaven, where the characters are invited to meet Prince Andrew. Oh my god, they named this guy Andrew. Okay, I glossed over that too quickly earlier. Perhaps the Brawlian monarch has a quest for them. These are good little suggestions. The end question mark. I need a more expansive book about everything in here. I need something thicker. I need more. You hear me, Wizards of the Coast? I need more. Okay. Whew. My back is tired from standing and holding these, but it is so worth it. Look at this beautiful man with his beautiful hamster astride this great and mighty beast. The Astral Menagerie. A collection of space-dwelling creatures. What is this? Oh, these are interesting. They came from outer space. The astral plane holds more than the promise of adventure among the stars. It is also home to some of the most fantastic creatures in the multiverse. Boo, the space hamster whose adventures with Minsk the Ranger are legendary, presents this compact collection of cosmic creatures to populate your adventures. It's intended for Dungeon Masters and has stats for more than 60 creatures. Alright, let's open it up. Oh my goodness. My man. Oops. Did you know that originally Minsk and Boo were only added to the original Baldur's Gate games because one of the creators, that was his character in a D&D campaign he was doing. He just asked one day, hey, can I add my D&D character to our game that we are making? And they're like, yeah. Little did he know he created one of the best characters in the history of D&D. Oh, that alternate cover is great. Hydro74, you are a wonderful artist. On the cover, Justin Guardian, Ranger and his store, Companion Boo, and Space flying through what space? Oh, that's a solar dragon? God, that's marvelous. In the original, SpellJammer stuff, we have a few menagerie type books that are spread out throughout the internet. There are some that have pictures, and they just look like basic dragons. This is great. Ship of Space Clowns. Oh no. Well, they don't look like clowns, so we'll see. Creatures A to Z. Oh, there he is, Boo the Space Hamster. What a beautiful boy. Okay, we got deep information for Astral Elves. Thank you, wizards. Thank you. Aristocrat Commander. This art is still just so great. And we can actually see, like, their architecture and armor and everything. That is great. It's like thinking about standard elves on Toril and just how, standard of an elf, their homes and their armor and everything typically is, like that being the elf standard. Thinking in comparison how the drow beneath them adapted and changed and looked different. It's like, in an astral way, the astral elves kind of ascended in a different direction like the drow did. And I just mean this purely from an aesthetic standpoint. I think it looks great. Astral Elf Commander. Astral Elf Honor Guard. Then we have Star Priest and Warrior. Kindori. That's what these are. Oh, these beautiful, beautiful space whales are called Kindori. They are among the largest creatures found in wild space. They resemble aquatic whales in general shape and are mammals as well. An adult specimen can be up to 80 feet long. So yeah, I talked about this in one of my past videos. There are actual space whales. I guess they have been rebranded as a gargantuan celestial creature called a Kindori. Kindori. Ooh, okay, we got a good picture. This is a lunar dragon. Lunar dragons, also known as moon dragons or phase dragons, are capricious, xenophobic creatures that make their lairs inside desolate moons by burrowing through rock. Before laying eggs, the female dragon stalks her lair of food. She will leave the lair again. They enjoy depriving other creatures of treasure more than acquiring the treasure themselves. Often found among the treasures in a lunar dragon's hoard are one or more spelljamming helms. And yes, space hamsters. Now, I know some of the older books actually had all of the hamsters illustrated and talked out. It looks like we only have 2 right now. Space hamsters resemble their terrestrial kin, both in their appearance and general demeanor, and they come in variety of colors. I did do a video covering these little guys a long time ago. There are a lot of them, and they each have different purposes. There was a whole societal description about these guys and how they work with their creators as basically livestock. They were good to each other. A Zodar is a bipedal entity whose body is encased in an obsidian exoskeleton. It has no facial features aside from 2 narrow vertical slits that resemble eyes, and it and its countenance betrays no hint of pain or emotion. Underneath its armored exterior, a Zodar's body is composed of tightly knit muscle fibers that make it incredibly strong and heavy. A Zodar weighs 1,500 pounds. No one knows how many Zodars exist or where they came from, but the most popular hypothesis is that they are the creations of some long-forgotten god. Whew. That was a lot of talking. Oh my goodness. For those of you who dared to stick along with me during this whole ride, I thank you. To anyone that made it this far, I apologize for how long this video has become. In hindsight, now that we're at the end of it, I am gonna make a smaller video going over the main, reveal and just chatting about these books. These things are amazing. I do apologize for taking this long. I wanted to do an unboxing video. I was, I guess, 2 weeks late versus everyone else who may have gotten theirs early or something. But I wanted to do it anyways. I love this setting. I wanted to see what Wizards had to offer for new content for 5e. And I'm craving more. I like heavy details, and I wish that they would put out, maybe there's something in D&D Beyond that I didn't see. All right, it's all in there now. Maybe there's something in D&D Beyond that I'm unaware of, but I am still pretty happy with this. This is a great thing that I hope everyone gets to enjoy. What was y'all's favorite part? I primarily love that we got to see the dragons actually illustrated. I like that certain species and races seem to have been converted for 5e, the writing at the time of the original SpellJammer to now. I like how that's different. The space whales have an actual name. The lizard folk got changed. The Zodar seem the same. The murder comet got changed. I think that got changed. I might be remembering a different aspect of it. There is a lot in old SpellJammer, like a lot. It's, when I was making those little videos talking about everything, you wouldn't even be able to imagine how much I had to sift through just to make something digestible and talkable for you guys. So in hindsight, thank you for sticking through this video if you did. If you're happening to see this on the short video, I hope you enjoyed, and I am glad you didn't have to suffer through the mega video. If you didn't want to look at it, that's completely fine. So if you guys have already gotten your copy, and I just got mine 2 days ago, sadly, I've been busy, I've been away, life is doing things. So if you have your copy, I hope you guys are having fun, and I will be making more videos. I have been away for far too long. So until next time, I hope you all have a good one. Stay safe out there. See you next time.